Hello students, welcome to Fundamentals of Accounting for Professionals. I am Dr. Claudia Mercado and I will be your instructor for the course. Now in this brief course orientation, I am going to briefly go over the course structure. That way hopefully I get any of the questions that you might have answered, and that way you can begin working on the course assignments from day number 1. Okay, now our course will be in Blackboard. Let me go ahead and go back in there. The course will be in Blackboard. You will have 5 modules that we're going to be covering. Now, in some of the modules, we are going to be covering content for 2 different sections, I would say, and then in others, it's just into 1. It just depends the module that we're covering and how intensive the information is. Okay. Now, before I go into the module information, I do want to provide you with some general information. Before you begin working on any course assignments, it is important that you review all of the information under the Start Here module. Now, under the Start Here module, you will have the welcome information about the course, and you'll have my contact information. Okay. Now, during the summer, I mainly teach from home. During a regular semester, my office is housed at the Pecan campus. Okay, so if during the summer you do need to reach me, please communicate with me through either Blackboard messages, email, or Pronto, and that way we can set up a time and we can do either a Teams meeting or a Zoom meeting or whatever works for both of us. Okay, so like I stated, I am Dr. Claudia Mercado and I will be your instructor. My office is at the Pecan campus, but in the summer I do not go to the Pecan campus. I work from home. That is my office phone number, and because I will not be in my office, I will not be able to answer it. So the best way to communicate me in the summer is through email, Blackboard messages, or Pronto. And then once we establish communication, we can set up a time to have a Teams meeting. Okay. The class that you are going to be taking is an online course. I do have office hours Monday through Thursday from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. So during that time, you can schedule a meeting with me and we can discuss over Teams. We can do a video conference and discuss any questions that you might have. Okay. Now, the course is structured into 5 different modules. In this particular course, we are going to learn the basics of accounting, and the basics of other business type information to help students in whatever trade they're in to be more successful entrepreneurs. Okay, so my course is structured in module 1. We're going to be covering business structures and accounting fundamentals. In this module, we're going to learn the different types of business structures: an LLC, a sole proprietorship, a corporation, a partnership, anything of that nature. So that way you can identify what is that best works for your type of business that you have, whether it be you're an electrician, an HVAC personnel, a plumber, whatever it is that your trade is, we can identify what works best for you. In module 1, we're going to cover business structures and the accounting fundamentals. So we're going to cover 2 module sets within that one module. So it's going to be kind of 2 sections. Next, we're going to transition into transaction cycles and financial statements. We're going to continue with accounting because that is the fundamental. Accounting is a language of business. So I do want to provide you with the fundamentals of what is accounting. Now, I will not teach you the entire accounting cycle. I will not teach you what you usually learn in 16, 17 weeks. You will not learn the entire concept, but you will be exposed to the different areas, the more critical areas, such as financial statement preparation and analysis. How to read a financial statement, how to prepare a financial statement, what is a debit, what is a credit, what are the normal balances of the account, what is the accounting equation, things of those nature. So I've kind of identified the areas that I feel are more critical to any business owner understanding, and I've put them into the course. Okay. So module 2 focuses on the practical application of the accounting cycles, how to analyze, record, and classify transactions. Once we are able to do that, we are able to gather the necessary information to be able to prepare our financial statements, which we're going to learn how to do in the course as well. So in module 2, once again, you will cover 2 different sections: the analysis, recording, and classifying of transactions, and then the financial statement component. So there will be 2 different sections. In the 3rd section, you will only have one item, one section that deals with payroll. Okay, so Module 3 focuses on learning the basics of payroll. Obviously, this is just touching up on basics. We do have a payroll course which runs for 16 weeks. If you are interested in learning more about payroll, we do have an intensive payroll course just for that. But the instructions here were to provide students with a cohesive understanding of little bits and pieces of what is necessary to succeed as a business owner. So understanding the fundamentals of accounting, understanding the fundamentals of business structures, the fundamentals of human resources, payroll, internal controls, and of course source documents. Okay, so Module 3 will only be one section which deals with payroll. Okay, so in this particular section, we're going to learn how to manage payroll, employment taxes, regulations, the different taxes that we have to pay and withhold from employees, the taxes that the employer is responsible for, things of that nature. And then the last section deals with inventory controls and source documents. In modules 4 and 5, we're going to cover physical administrative safeguarding of assets, including inventory management and internal controls. In module 5, we cover specific source documents such as purchase orders, invoices, sales receipts. We also talk about credit cards, issuing credit cards to employees or issuing gas cards to employees. Those were areas that were identified as important for individuals that own businesses in trades such as HVAC or electrical or plumbers, that they have a fleet of teams going out there and servicing customers. These are areas that were identified as students needing a little bit more knowledge about. Okay, so the layout is provided. These are the course learning outcomes. I'm not going to go ahead and go through them all, but all of this information is here just for purposes of time constraints. But we are going to be learning a lot during these 5 modules. So once again, it is critical that you begin working on these items from day number 1. So all of this information is available to you. What are we going to be learning in each of the modules? Okay, I'm not just giving busy work. This is going to help you run your business and better understand. If you have an accountant or a bookkeeper that's doing all of this for you, maybe now with this information that you're going to be getting, you have a different set of eyes when you're looking at that information, so you can make better business decisions. Okay, so well, let me quickly go over these because they are important. We're going to do the course learning outcomes. What are we expected to learn after we complete this 5-week course? Okay, so we're going to evaluate the advantages and disadvantages of different business structures to determine the most suitable option for a trade business, considering legal liability, taxation, and operational flexibility. We're going to define accounting concepts and principles. We're going to utilize the accounting equation and the double entry accounting methods, including debits and credits, to analyze, record, and classify business transactions. We're going to process financial information to prepare and interpret formal financial statements. We're going to calculate various employment obligations, including federal income tax, Social Security, and Medicare, ensuring we are in compliance with reporting and regulatory requirements. We're going to apply different inventory valuation methods, whether it be FIFO, LIFO, or weighted average, to ensure accurate financial reporting. We're going to identify potential fraud risk and internal controls to safeguard one's assets. And last but not least, we're going to recognize various source documents as an essential paper trail for all financial activities. Now, I will be showing you the manual aspects of accounting. After this course, there is a follow-up course that deals with basically similar information, but it's going to be applied in a QuickBooks environment. So this is basically this course is going to set the tone and provide you with the fundamental knowledge to be able to succeed in the next course, which is applying everything that you learned to a computerized environment in QuickBooks. Okay. Now, the grading for the course is very simple. 40% of your grade comes from quizzes, 60% comes from projects. Okay, so that gives you a 100% total. I work off of a 1,000-point scale system. So this is the grade distribution per module. We have 5 modules. Module 1 has 2 components. Module 2 has 2 components. Module 3 only has 1. Module 4 has 2 components, and then Module 5 has 1 component. These are the quizzes, and these are the projects and the points for each of those, giving you a 1,000-point total. Okay, To pass this class, you do need to get 700 points or greater. That's a 70 or better. So it is imperative that you perform well. Okay. Now, the quizzes are multiple choice, matching, fill in the blank kind of a thing. The projects, they're scenario-based projects based on the different information that we're covering. You will be using Excel, so you do need to have basic knowledge of Excel and Word. And you will have to prepare information, whether it be financial statements, you're going to prepare a purchase order, you're going to be able to calculate inventory using different methods, you're going to prepare a bank reconciliation. So all of these projects are applicable to real world scenarios of something that you could encounter in your place of business. Okay. So the course structure, this is an online class. You do not need any resources. All of my resources are OER. They're free resources. You do need access to Microsoft Word and Excel, so make sure that you do have that available. So there are 5 modules that we're going to be covering, and we'll go over that in a bit, the layout. I've given you a breakdown by the topic. You do have non-graded activities. Now, non-graded activities means that you are not going to be getting a grade for doing this. Your readings and the videos are not for a grade. Now, you will not be able to succeed in the class if you don't do these activities. First, you have to read. Read the different readings. Now, these readings are not very long. It should not take you very long to complete the readings. First, you complete the readings. Then, you watch the videos that I provided. And the videos are short in length. Maybe 8 minutes, 10 minutes, 12 minutes. They're not very long videos. Once you are done reading and watching the videos, then you move on to the graded activities. Every chapter or every module has different graded activities. For the module in business structures, you're going to have a quiz, okay? And I need to change this. Let me just change it as I'm here because it's module 1. Now that I'm looking at it, it's module 1 quiz, okay? So for module 1 quiz, you're going to be analyzing, recording, and classifying transactions. You're going to have a quiz. The quizzes are timed. You do have an hour, 60 minutes to complete the quiz, okay? And the questions range between 20 to 25 questions, okay, depending on the chapter. But each of the quizzes is worth 50 points, okay? After that, you're going to have 2 modules for module 1. You're going to have business structures and you're going to have introduction to accounting. They're both running from June 1st through June the 7th, okay? For the introduction to accounting, you're going to have your readings and your videos. And then you're going to have your graded activities. You're going to have your quiz dealing with introduction to accounting. And you're going to have your project that deals with the expanded accounting equation, okay? The following week, June 8th through the 14th, we move to Module 2. Module 2 deals with analyzing, recording, and classifying transactions. You have your readings and you have your videos. After you are done with that, you have 2 graded activities. You've got your quiz and you've got your journal entry project. Module 2 has 2 sections. The second section deals with financial statements, which will also run from June 8th through the 14th. Your assignments are due on Sunday of each week at midnight. So make sure that you do complete them by that date. Okay. So for Module 2, you have your readings and you have your videos. And then you have your Module 2 quiz dealing with financial statements and your Module 2 project, which you're going to be preparing an income statement and a balance sheet and do some analysis. Okay. We move on to Module 3. You've got, that's going to run from June 15th through June the 21st. You have your non-graded activities, you've got your readings, and you've got your videos. And then for Module 3, you only have 1 set of activities this week. You're going to have 2 graded activities. You're going to have your quiz and your project, which deals with calculating employee payroll and employer taxes. Module 4 has 2 sections, inventory and internal controls. Module 4 runs from June 22nd through the 28th. You've got your readings, your videos, and your graded activities. For inventory, you have a quiz and a project. For internal controls, you've got a quiz and a project, okay? So you're going to have a lot of work on that Module 4. Module 5 is a short week. It's going to run from June 29th through July the 2nd. You've got your readings and you've got your videos. And then you have 2 activities, which is your usual quiz and a project, which is going to be creating a purchase order for an electrical company, okay? So all of this information, you can read through it. I do accept late assignments, but I encourage students not to wait because then you're going to get overloaded or overwhelmed with information. So I highly encourage that you complete your assignments as they are due. But if you do have some time of inconvenience or emergency that prevents you from completing your assignments timely, you may submit your assignments late, 1 week late, for a 10% penalty. Okay, I will only accept it 1 week late. If you do not submit your assignment after that 1 week, you will receive an F and a 0 on that assignment, and you will not be able to make it up. Okay. Now, during the finals week, that is the last day that you can submit your work for the prior week. Okay, it is imperative that you submit all of your work by the last day of class. Okay. I've got an AI statement. Make sure that you do read it and adhere to it. You may use it as a tool, but not to get answers and cheat, okay? Use it as a tool to review other resources that might be helpful to you, to summarize data, but not to get the answers, okay? So all of this information is available to you. I'm going to go ahead and close this out. You do have your syllabus, okay? I'm not going to go over all of the information in the syllabus because I've already covered it with you, but you do have my contact information. You do have the learning objectives, my availability. Like I said, I do have office hours Monday through Thursday from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. So just send me a message and we can coordinate something. The grades are here, how much each grade for each module, and the different types of assignments. And then you have a listing of everything that we just covered, okay? So please, I recommend that you print out your syllabus. That way you have this little timeline here of what is it that you need to complete each of the modules, and you mark them off as you go. I've already read reading 1, I've done reading 2, I've done reading 3. Mark them off as you go. That way you don't forget anything, okay? So that is available. Now, these other links are just for your use. If you have any issues with technical information, you have the contact information here of who you can contact. You read all of this information. Policy statements and student support, you review that information as well. This is information coming from the college. This is not applicable to the course. This is just general information. We've got student library resources if you need that information. If you need to go to the library, we've got tutoring. We've got all that good stuff for you. And then once again, you have your AI policy. Make sure that you do adhere to it. Okay, now we get to the modules. And I'm not going to go through each of the modules. I've already been talking for 17 minutes. I'm just going to show you how the layout of a module is. That way you can be familiar. So if you see here, I've got module 1. And I've got a brief overview of what we're going to learn in module 1. If you open it up, you're going to see 2 folders. In module 1, we're covering 2 sections. We're covering the business structures and introduction to accounting. Let's start off with the business structures, okay? When you work on your assignments, please be organized. Complete the first folder or the first section first. Once you're done with that, move on to the next. That way you are not getting confused. So we're going to tackle module 1, business structure first. We click the down arrow. And you have 3 folders. You have your required readings, your videos, and your assignments. If you open up the readings, these are all of the readings that you have to complete. You just click on the link and it will take you to the reading, okay? You don't have to do anything special, just click on the links, okay? So reading 2, you click on it and it opens it up for you, okay? You're able to save or refer to this as many times as you need to, okay? So you've got your readings. Once you're done with the readings, you go on to the videos. Now, these are videos that I found very useful. So you click on the link to the video.
Check this out. I'm going to show you how I afforded this car.
And it will take you, once I get to skip
you ready?
Here.
All right, $118 for car insurance. That's how much I was paying. Okay?
So we
evolved over time where you may be in a...
So then you get the actual video. Business structures, how to choose the best entity for you. So these videos are not very long. This one's 20 minutes. Watch the videos. The links are provided. You just click on the link and it will take you to the video so you can watch it. Take notes as you are watching the video. Once you are done with the readings and the videos, then you go to your assignments. The quiz is timed. It gives you the due date there, okay? And it gives you the number of minutes that you have for the test. Now, I don't know why it's giving me 9:59. Let me go ahead and edit it once I have it here. to make sure, I do give students till the end of the day. Let me see. So yeah, let me change that to 11:59 p.m. Okay. So you will have until the end of the day on June the 7th to complete the quiz. Okay. So once you're done with that, you close it out and you go to Module 1, Introduction to Accounting. Once again, you will have your readings. You read the different items provided. Once you're done reading, you go to your videos. You've got 3 videos. Once you're done with the videos, you go to the quiz. And I guess I'm going to have to go back and update all of my quizzes because I don't know why I've changed them before and they default. But I will work on that. Do not worry. I will make those changes for you. So that way it is 11:59 p.m. on June the 7th. Okay, so you will have 60 minutes, only one attempt. So make sure that you are familiar with the content before you log in to take your quiz. Okay, and then you have your project. Okay, now for the projects, it is very important. Let me go ahead and open this project. Okay, it is very important that you read the instructions. Okay, it says complete the Excel activity by recording each HVAC business transaction in the expanded accounting equation. Okay, so it gives you instructions. This is the file that you have to download. Download the original file. Okay, download it. Once you download it, the first thing that you need to do is save the file. Okay, you're going to enable the editing and you're going to do File, Save As, Browse, and you save it wherever you want. I'm going to save it on my desktop. Okay, so I'm going to leave Module 1 Accounting Equation Project, and I am going to go ahead and at the end put my name. Okay, that way I know this is the project for Claudia Mercado, and then I save it. Okay, once I save it, then I can begin working on the project. I do whatever it is that I need to do on these entries. I have to record all of these transactions into my accounting equation. Once I'm done with that, I need to make sure that my assets equals my liabilities and owner's equity. Okay, so this is how it looks like. This is what you're going to be completing. If you have, and I provided you with an example of the first transaction, that way you know how to enter it. Okay, if you have any questions, you can always reach out to me and I can clarify. But it is important that you read the instructions carefully. If you see here, there is an instructions tab. Okay, this is a demonstration. This is what we're doing. These are the transactions that you're analyzing. And this is what you're going to be posting into the accounting equation. Okay, so make sure that you review all of the information that is posted. So you open it, you save it, you work on it, you save it again. And then once you save it, you upload the completed file so I can grade it and provide feedback. Now, when you upload it, it needs to be in Excel format so I can go in there and see what you did and provide you with feedback. Do not, and this is do not upload PDF files. Okay, I do not accept PDF files. If it's either a Word document or an Excel document, that is the method that you need to upload them in, either Excel or Word, depending on the file. Do not upload PDF files. Okay. So that is how it's going to work. That's a project that you have in Module 1. Okay. Once you're done with Module 1, then we will work on Module 2. That's the following week. Okay. Module 2, once again, you have 2 modules. You open it up, and then you've got your readings, your videos, and your assignments. Okay. Once you're done with that one, you go to Financial Statements module. You open it up. You've got your readings, your videos, and your assignments. Okay. So you've got your quiz and you've got your project. If you open it up, it gives you here the file. Once again, this is an Excel file. You're going to be preparing financial statements. You download the original file. Okay, very simple. You download it. Okay. So here you have the problem scenario. You read it, and I'm giving you a trial balance. With this information, you have to prepare an income statement and you have to prepare a balance sheet. Now, only enter information for the items highlighted in yellow, okay? So make sure that you fill in all of those items, okay? The same thing for the balance sheet. Make sure that you enter an account and an amount for all of the items in yellow. It says refer to the trial balance found in the problem scenario. These are the account titles that you are going to be using. You don't make up your accounts. The accounts are listed to you here. So these accounts will be copied over to the income statement and the balance sheet, okay? Once you're done preparing your financial statements, you have to do an analysis and you will enter it here, okay? So save the file, work on it. Once you're done, you save it and you re-upload it for grading, okay? So that is how my course is structured. It's very easy to follow. You've got folders. Within those folders, you've got the reading, the videos, and the assignments. Module 3 only has one section. It just has payroll information, so you will only have one set of information. You've got your readings, your videos, and your assignments. Module 4, you will have two sections, inventory and internal controls. And then Module 5 will only have one section, which deals with source documents and credit and gas cards, okay? So that is the layout, 5 modules, 5 weeks, a lot of work, okay? So it is super important that you work on your assignments as soon as possible. If you have any questions, please get with me as soon as possible so I can get those questions clarified and you can continue with your assignments. Reading is imperative. You need to read before you begin working on your assignments. Review all of the resources that I have provided, the readings and the videos, so you can work on the assignments. Be very careful on your projects. Read the instructions. If you need any clarity on any of the instructions, send me a message and I will respond as soon as I can. I am very excited and looking forward for this term. Having you in my class is very exciting for me. I hope that you learn from me and that I learn from you and that we establish excellent communication throughout the semester, okay? So I want to wish you the best. And once again, if you have any questions, please do not hesitate to contact me, and I am looking forward to an amazing summer session. Until next time, bye-bye.